Hey guys, as always, Jarek here, and I got a guest with me today. I have ProDoubleSushi. If you're in the Rivals community, you probably know who he is, but for those of you that watch my channel that don't know who he is considered, quote-unquote, the top Forsburn player. If I'm forgetting anyone, I apologize. I've probably just pissed off like 5 people. So it's just a very informal interview. First off, how's it going? What's up, man?
It's going good.
So, why Forsburn? Was that like the first character you picked up, or did you like experiment with other characters before finally coming to Forsburn?
So what happened was, I was actually watching Rivals of Aether gameplay before it came out in early access, and as I was watching some of the alpha testers play, I thought Forsburn was actually the coolest looking one by design. The only other character I was interested in was Maple, and so when the game finally came out in early access, I actually tried out both of them, and I could not get a handle on Maple to save my life, because I was still getting used to the game's mechanics, I guess. And so I ended up just sticking with Forsburn.
It's funny because when I first started playing Rivals, my logic was like, Forsburn's by far the coolest looking one, and I tried, and that lasted a total of like 2 hours, so I was like, nah. This character is not for me. You got all the, like, Forsburn, like, G4... You got one of those posters from G4, didn't you?
I didn't get a poster, no.
Nah.
I should've.
You should've. Why didn't you do that?
My financial situation at the time wasn't, I didn't feel comfortable trying to buy stuff at that time.
Yeah, so you live over in the Midwest somewhere, right?
Yes, I live in Texas.
So do you plan on going into any of the other majors?
I'm definitely not going to CEO Dreamland.
When I said Midwest, I didn't mean Texas. I thought you lived like somewhere near Chicago or something.
People usually classify Texas as Midwest whenever they're talking about regions, so I just assumed.
Makes sense. So you're not going to CEO, just not possible at the time, I guess?
No, I couldn't afford it. But I actually just got an opportunity yesterday, so I may be able to go to the bigger Valve tournament.
Oh, that'd be cool.
But we'll have to see how that works out.
I should probably point out, like I said, I've said many times before that I am not a top level player. And I always find it really amusing because I feel like a lot of people come into the Rivals community and my videos are some of the first things they see. And they kind of like view me and they're like, dude, you're really good at this game. I'm like, if only you knew. If only you knew how good people are. So if you need any testament to this, I guess this video is good enough. Whoop. Oh shit, I actually wall jumped. So how many hours have you been playing and how long did it take to get like to what you feel is proficient at Forsburn where you can really compete?
I currently have about 1,060 hours on Rivals, and I've been playing since day one of early access. And I'd say maybe took me a few months to feel like really comfortable and confident in my skills with Forsburn. I couldn't tell you how many hours that was, honestly. Maybe like 300-ish. But at the time, everyone was still brand new, and like I thought I was really good, like when the game came out, like everyone else did.
Yeah, when you first start playing a game, it's like, man, I'm the coolest guy, I'm so good, and then you get involved, it's like, wow, I suck.
Yeah, so what happened was I actually played like straight for like a month, like non-stop like grinding, and then I actually ended up taking up like a 2-month break. And then, so I started again like in December, the game came out like in September. And so I did a tournament in December, and I ended up getting pretty far in the tournament. And I think I ended up getting like 20 on the PR at the time of like 300 people that were playing. So
that's
that
cool.
Was like, yeah.
For the record, it's very difficult to talk and play. I had like 2 methods of doing this. I'm like, we can either play some friendlies that I can like record this afterward and like Skype with webcams or whatever, or I can just say, screw it, nothing formal, just go for it. So that's what we're doing right now. So if this conversation seems a bit out there, then there you go.
Yeah, I'm really bad about talking and playing at the same time. Can't ask anyone that watches my stream.
I'm bad at talking and playing at the same time when it comes to a game like this. When it comes to shooters, I find that way easier.
Yeah, me too, actually. I just have to like really when I play this.
Speaking of, like, what other games do you play? Like, we know you play Rivals a lot. What other games have you put like a bunch of hours into?
So I've actually played like lots of fighters. Besides that, I also play some shooters, but some of the fighters I put the most time into are Soul Calibur and Super Smash Bros. Melee. I used to play in the local competitive scene for Melee in Houston. So there was that. And I've also played like a lot of like Call of Duty and Rainbow Six shooters.
Yeah, so which Rainbow? Yeah, I see you playing Siege a lot.
I'm getting back into that right now. Back when, what was Rainbow Six Vegas? I used to play that a bunch.
God, Vegas was, I'm sure you're aware, Vegas was like my game.
Yeah.
I still play the hell out of it.
It was a really fun game.
Yeah, that was like my competitive game. That was the weirdest experience of like, you're not chasing other people, like people are chasing you. This is the only time I've been in that place. Alright, so you've been to quite a few different tournaments at this point. Like, is there any players that just sort of stood out as like being cool people outside of the game that maybe you'd like go out and just chill and hang out with?
Outside of the game, oh man. So there's Full Stream. Full Stream is the real homie. We've actually been to each other's places before. He's been to my place, I've been to his. We spent the nights, and he's a really cool person. And then there's Turquoise Color and Nikioni. They've been dating for maybe, I don't want to give an exact number, just a few years. And I've actually went to their house for a tournament in Georgia, and they're also really nice. They're really fun to be around. But I've met lots of different people at different local tournaments. But couldn't really name any other names right now.
Yeah, I probably should just give a quick shout out to the Rivals of Aether community in general. It's by far one of the best communities I've been involved with, and I know a lot of people watch my videos that, you know, they occasionally see my Rivals content. I've talked to a lot of people that are like kind of nervous about like, I'm afraid to talk to people in the Rivals Discord. Like, just join the Rivals Discord. Just talk to people. These people are genuinely fun to talk to. Most people they genuinely want to help. Like, they will help you get better at the game. You know, everyone's just there having a good time. I guess we can talk about the community right now. So the skill level of the Rivals community is kind of in an odd spot since it was in early access for a long time. We saw a bunch of new players come in when the full game got released a few weeks ago. But I feel that vast majority of the community right now is kind of like at the upper end of the mid-level spectrum. And then you have the smaller fraction that's like top-level players, and you have like 5 or 10 people that are sort of gods. Would you agree with that, or is that like...
Yeah, that's just about right.
Who would you put like in the god spectrum right now?
Oh man, there's so many inactive players and then certain active players. I guess I have to give a shout out to like the people that have already been labeled as gods, even if they're not active. So there's like Ralph, who was obviously like the reigning champ of this game for the longest time, but he's not really playing now because he wanted to focus on melee. Another god would definitely be Full Stream. He's also been doing very well. He won Genesis. Kasuno is also kind of a god right now, because in case, I don't know if you saw his record on the PR, but he's like a 95-7 PR.
Yeah, he's he's like the most amount of points in everything.
As for, I couldn't, LZ is also considered like a god of the game, although I haven't really seen him play too much besides he went to Genesis.
Yeah, it's, you know, a quick shout out to LZ and everything that's happened over the last like week or so. It's great to hear he's fine. Like, we can't not have our kid, you know. I mean, not that you ever want this to happen, but it's kind of like even less opportune time too, since like CEO is going to be like main stage Rivals. Yeah, I just wanted to say that. But I feel like there's also a bunch of players that are sort of like in this mid-level spectrum that are really close to kind of becoming top-level players.
Yeah.
I couldn't list any off the top of my head. I don't know if you could list any.
I couldn't really list any off the top of my head either. There's just really small gaps between like top tier and like upper mid tier. There's just like very little things that they can improve on that would put them to be like drastically better in tournament and things like that. But people get really close, and it's all about refining like the little details about the game to get to that level.
Yeah, it's like, I don't remember who said this, that quote that's like, don't be afraid of the pros, be afraid of the amateurs. And it's like, I can't really disagree. The amount of times you feel like you lost to someone you shouldn't have lost to. And even the last tournament, like, last NCS I went to, I don't remember who I lost to. It wasn't really important. I took the first game, no problem. Like, I was like, all right, so this sets in. And then I just kind of stopped paying attention because I noticed the next person in bracket was Quote. And I was like, this will be really amusing to play him again after what happened last time. And then I lost. So I was like, well, shit. So you use a GameCube controller, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so you're one of the GameCube controller users instead of the Xbox controller.
I did come from Melee, so I feel much more comfortable on GameCube.
That's kind of weird because it's like, you know, I came over from PM. So like, you'd figure
yeah.
I'd want a GameCube controller, but I don't know, the 360 controller just feels way better to me. Like, I don't even use an Xbox One controller.
Yeah, I started on the Xbox One controller because I knew the game was going to be released on Xbox One, so I figured it'd be easier for going to locals and stuff to try and learn it, but after like 3 weeks of trying to make it work, I just couldn't do it and I switched to GameCube.
That was kind of what I did when I tried to use the GameCube controller, because it was like, I figured if they added it to like Smash Nest, which is like the local monthlies here, if Rivals was there, it would probably be using a GameCube controller because everyone has one, right? For some reason, my mind just couldn't do it. And I don't know why, because it's like I've played so many hours of PM, whatever. I don't get it.
It definitely took some time to like learn to switch between the games when I was first learning Rivals. And that's what really threw me off, because I jump into Melee and then like try and air dodge or like wall jump from recovery, and I'm like, oh wait, I can't do that.
Oh man, I do that every time I go back to PM. I'm like, well, I have an air dodge off stage, it should be fine, right? And then I just commit suicide. It's like, well,
happens all the time, man. It's a struggle.
And if anyone watching wants ideas of what not to do, by me not paying attention and talking at the same time, that's where all these scrubby smashes are coming from. Never play like this, please.
Oh god.
Yeah, don't question that.
I can't do anything.
Okay, so where do you think Forsburn is like competitively right now? Like, do you think anything really could be changed, or what do you feel?
I don't think Forsburn is the best character by any means. There are definitely some weaknesses he has, in my opinion. Mainly being that he doesn't have anything to like really prevent people from like, or really like to control a good amount of space, I guess. It's kind of hard to describe because other characters have like reliable projectiles, and Forsburn doesn't really. He has his clone, which can be destroyed in one hit and has to be activated. And then you have smoke, which can be kind of useful. I've been trying to explore it more, but if he had something like a more solid, reliable projectile, I think he'd be much better.
Yeah, which is apparently really obvious from like lower level players. The amount of time you just see people just platform camping with Forsburn, just spamming smoke, never actually approaching, just sitting back.
Yeah.
I'm still alive, it's okay. No, not for long. How do you feel about this stage? Honestly, I haven't played this stage enough since game only came out, what, less than a few weeks ago?
Yeah, something like that. Probably like 3 weeks ago-ish.
This stage honestly has been the one that I hate more than anything else.
Oh yeah?
It's kind of strange. It's like the moving platforms always mess me up.
It's just like dreams.
It's like all the confirms you have out of something into either down smash or forward smash or something, then the platform moves them up. It's like, damn it.
Yeah, I've had some really weird things happen like that to me, where I just like misconfirmed because moving platforms. But I've also had it happen to where people miss their kills on me because of the moving platforms as well, so it works both ways. But I do think the layout can be kind of funky, depending on the matchups and how comfortable you are with it, basically. But you can do some pretty nice stuff on it, but sometimes those outer platforms can really work against you when you're being edge guarded and stuff.
Yeah, the outer platforms, honestly, I'm kind of okay with, because it's like, I usually play pretty reckless and stupid, so... Let's see, out of... I know for a fact you probably aren't going to like, since FD has been added. I had two thoughts immediately when FD was added in the game, like, first, that's going to be good for Zetterburn, and that's going to be really bad for Forsburn.
Yeah. What I've been trying to do on FD actually is actually use a ton of smoke because Forsburn needs his mobility, and people basically agree that if he doesn't have platforms, he's just gonna like die. But so what I've been trying to do is just throw out like a ton of smoke and using my up B teleport into smoke for mobility instead. And it also kind of works with like the whole deception theme that Forsburn's supposed to have. And it's been working so far.
Unless apparently against Aether. Why don't you why don't you tell me what you feel about Aether? Just because it's hilarious to me.
I don't know, man. So anyone who knows me already knows that I absolutely hate playing against Aether. It's more of a matchup thing than anything that I've developed. I just get like a huge block when I play against Aether players, and I just feel like I can't get in because I feel like he has way too much range against Forsburn, where I don't have like a solid projectile like I mentioned, and I have to rely on reading his approaches because usually they approach with dash attacks and cancels, right? So it's like impossible to tell if you can actually parry and stuff like that. Nice tech.
So why don't you explain, like, why is there any other reasons as to why the Forsburn Aether matchup is absolutely hated by literally every Forsburn player I've talked about? I have not ever talked to a Forsburn player that just didn't completely resent Aether.
I think it's all just like the fact that Forsburn doesn't have like a really reliable way to stuff him out, like to control the stage with. Like I mentioned before, like he has a clone that can kind of do stuff, but it can be destroyed in one hit. So there's not like a solid way. And the fact that like it just feels like he has way more range than Forsburn altogether. Even though he's like super huge and he can still like outrange you, it feels like, and sometimes it just feels awful to play against him as Forsburn. I didn't realize I was on my last stock.
Oh, so I just wanted to put out, I noticed you're a dirty X jumper.
Uh-oh. I am.
Yeah, I don't know, I've always used Y. Isn't it
Yeah.
by default in Rivals Y? Like, I actually don't even remember it changed. What, have you changed any of your
I think
controls?
it's set to both. I don't think I've changed controls. Oh, I took strong attack off like the Z button or whatever, but I mean...
Whoops.
And I've also changed like sensitivities a tiny bit, but I haven't like changed any default controls.
Yeah, the only thing I've changed in this game is that I changed the taunt button off of D-pad since I kept accidentally hitting it. Just put it one of the shoulder buttons. But I've also changed the dead zone, like how hard you need to push it to run, like considerably. Like I have that way up at 45.
Oh yeah, I think mine's actually at 45 too.
I don't know, I just put it there, I don't remember. Alright, so I have to ask, do you have an evil twin by the name of Pro Single Teriyaki?
You know, I might. I was kind of born in my Discord server by someone named Jarek.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Someone,
God.
well, actually, someone did change their name to that for a while because of. So it does exist. I don't know if they still have their name set as that, but it definitely had an evil twin.
Yeah, there's been... Alright, so I have my own Discord for anyone on this channel that knows. I think your name has changed like 5 different times. Totally
Yeah,
not my
so.
fault. I didn't do it.
Oh really? I thought it was you.
No, I'm the only admin in that server.
Well.
It's like, I don't remember what, I think I put it to Pro Sushi for a while. Right now it's Pro Shitposting Sushi, since that's like, I can always tell when you're bored. Every time you're bored, it's like, alright, I'm getting spammed, someone's pinging me like crazy in my server. I wonder who this could be.
Must be
No idea.
I don't know, man. You have a lot of people in your server. You could never know who.
I mean, to be fair, sometimes that happens. And it's also like a YouTube-based server, so, you know, there are trolls.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just deal with that. You just block them and pretend they don't exist. It's just like YouTube.
Oh.
So yeah, you said something along the lines of after about 300 hours you felt okay with Forsburn. And I feel like that's kind of what I've been telling people, is that like after about 300 hours is where you kind of, I feel like players start to get more competent and just sort of understand things. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to like really start winning, but you understand why you're not winning at the very least.
Yeah, definitely.
And after about 40 hours, well, after about 400 hours, I can say, I know my bad habits, I still do them. Like all these random smashes you shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, basically. But I'd also come from Melee at a point where my mind game, or my mental games and stuff were just like, they were just developing. I'd actually just started playing against like top players top players in my region, or I guess city basically. Before I came to Rivals, they were actually helping me develop and teaching me stuff about like the mental game, and a lot of it transferred over to Rivals, which really helped as well.
Yeah, it's what I just told someone the other day is, you know, obviously you see a lot of people that just sort of get frustrated when the game first comes out. You know, they first start playing it. That's like, what I usually tell people is like, anyone can push buttons, obviously. It's, if you're gonna get frustrated, winning isn't the solution to not getting frustrated anymore. Because like, if you're not frustrated, you're automatically just going to start playing better. Even if you don't win, it's like, it's not really that big of a deal.
Oh no. Yeah. I was actually playing with Full Stream earlier today, and he was definitely destroying me, but it was definitely a good time. I always enjoy playing better people. I think it's one of the best things in fighting game, just playing someone who is much better than you, can see the difference, and you can see like what they're doing that's better.
Yeah, it's like, you know, I feel like after a while I just kind of changed my mentality, especially with friendlies. Like, sure, if you're in bracket, winning matters. Whatever. You don't want to kill yourself if you don't win, right? But, you know, in friendlies, I don't care if I win or lose. It's like, am I improving? All right, that's all I want out of this.
Yeah, basically.
And also, like, you know, genuine gaming etiquette, no one wants to play with someone that's just mad all the time, you know?
Yeah.
That's like, it's not fun to be around it. People label you, you know, you get reputations for being that guy that's always mad. You know, just save yourself the trouble and just just don't do it. If you do it, at least go quiet. Like, just don't say anything.
Except I am that guy when it comes to edits.
Yeah, but like some people are funny when they're mad. Like, alright, quick shout out to Bumblebomb. I was watching a stream, like, I don't know, a few weeks ago. And he, like, come in pre-tilted. Like, it was just one of those days. He was just not having a good day. He was already frustrated. And, like, the whole stream, he was just ranting about how gimping people with Crag's Pillar is the stupidest thing in the world.
I was in that stream.
I just found that stream the most hilarious thing.
Oh, no. I don't know what's going on.
I don't either. I just mash down smash, everything will be fine. That's not a down smash.
Yeah, I was actually watching that stream too, and I remember some of the things he said and what I thought about it, but I tried explaining it a little bit because Bumble's a cool guy.
Bumble is a funny dude. He's one of those people, like, some people when they're tilted are just really funny. I'm sorry, Bumble, but it's funny. I don't know, I feel like you just have to have enough self-awareness to be like, alright, am I sounding like a rage-induced shitwad right now, or am I just, you know, having a good time?
Yeah. Oh no. first. Oh.
So what do you think about this matchup specifically? I've ranted about this one before, because to me it feels like the only viable options you have in neutral are either back air or they're just full hop fireball for Zetterburn.
My opinion's definitely changed over time of this matchup, but Zetterburn and Forsburn have also changed a lot. So when the game first came out, I thought this matchup was like GG easy, like 100-0 easy peak. But at the time, Zetterburn's recovery was also kind of really garbage. Now they've added in like lots of different mix-ups for him to use. They've buffed some of his stuff, and they've just changed some things overall. But now I kind of feel like the matchup's kind of even, to be honest. If it were to lean in someone's favor, I would give it to Forsburn though. Just because of his range over Zetterburn.
Yeah, I feel like, honestly, since I'm not a patient player, like, anyone that plays me knows that, like, I am not going to sit back and just try to outspace people. I'm gonna run in and do something really stupid. And if you're gonna play like that, this matchup is like, well, you suck. Like, you're not gonna win.
Oh, I messed it up. Down smash. Down smash. Wait. Down smash!
That's another really bad habit for anyone watching that's like worse than me. Spamming parry after any smash, just don't do it.
Upper mid tier and top tier players definitely look for like obvious parry spots. What is Final Destination called in this game? I honestly don't know.
I don't know, it's just FD. That's always what it's gonna be called. Dan is probably just like cursing all of us. Maple's kind of in like this weird spot, because I feel like a lot of players that aren't sort of upper end, like higher skill set, they seem to not think Maple is all that good, and they just kind of don't really see why Maple is rated so high. And I guess I can see that because you just don't really see that many Maples around. I don't necessarily agree with it, but... So could you, aside from the obvious, Maple is just really fast and can nearly do everything on reaction, like, what about Maple is so good?
I think her combo game, you can just be so creative, like, her combo game is like suited to any situation you might put yourself in off of any one hit. Like, you could get like a weak hit off of like your back air and then immediately combo it into some like kill setup. It's like, it's ridiculous how good her combo game is. And then her plant also leaves a lot of pressure on the stage. I don't think it's that big of a deal that it can be parried, because if you place it in the right spot and you're around the area to like protect it, kind of, then it has a really huge presence, especially if you're gonna combo them into it or something. It's basically like a kill setup right there waiting to happen, or even if like they're not marked to get wrapped by it, you can still combo out of it. People are learning right now more efficiently than ever how to use that plant to combo. She's just, the creativity you can do with her is, I think, what makes her really, really good.
So it's still, for the most part amongst everyone, it's agreed that like Raster and Maple are the two best characters. Not that it's like foregone conclusion you're going to win, obviously, but...
Yeah, I believe so. I haven't really I haven't had much tier list discussion since I've been playing again.
Yeah, everything I've seen has been, for the most part, everyone's like, alright, here's Maple and Raster. Now, everyone else is after.
Yeah, that's basically what people are like. But the way I see it, I actually don't talk about who's the best anymore, really, because the way I see it, everyone is just so close as it is that it almost doesn't really matter, because everyone's viable. Every character's won a tournament.
I don't know, you just don't really see too many high-level Apsas either. Like, I've noticed some more as of late.
There's a few. To name off a few like that I can think of right now, there's Aricia, Protagify, but I haven't really played them often, mostly because I don't like playing Apsas, but I know they are good. There's also Seztels. I was actually watching Seztels play in a tournament like last week or something, and it was really hype. Oh, really? It was really exciting watching him, because he does some really like cool stuff with Absa. He makes Absa look really cool, and then I was like, I kind of want to learn Absa, and then I play against Absa.
And then you tried to play Apsa, and it's like, how do I do this?
Yeah, basically.
It's like my first experience playing you was just coming across you in exhibition, and it's like, all right, so you're just gonna go through the entire roster and just kick my ass, basically. Except Absa, it's like your Absa is just like I don't know what I'm doing, and that's not that I can say anything. I don't know what I'm doing either.
I really don't know what I'm doing with him though. I'm just like, how do people play this character? I hate this character. This character is easy. That's basically what I thought, and then I like tried playing them, and I'm like, I don't play this character. Oh, what?
I can jump out of that, apparently.
Don't do it. Nope.
I'd also like to point out that what was it, the conversation we had earlier, it's like you didn't know where I was located. And in my mind, I thought that was funny because the tag I use is literally Portland's airport code.
Is it really?
Yeah, a lot of people don't know this, and it causes a lot of confusion because, like, within like sports forums and whatnot, because everyone in Portland always abbreviates Portland to PDX, but everyone else is like, what the fuck is PDX?
I had no idea.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this earlier. I probably should have mentioned this right at the beginning. I'll put like an annotation or something. Go check out Sushi's. Like, you stream fairly often, right?
Yeah, I plan on streaming more often now. I did take like a 2 to 3 month hiatus, like right before I started playing again, and wasn't doing anything then. But I do plan on streaming more often now.
Yeah, and you host fairly frequently, like if someone else is streaming.
Yes, I do. I try to support the community where I can.
So I know a lot of new players like watch me. Go watch like someone like Sushi instead. Like, that's kind of why I stopped posting friendlies, because in my mind I'm like, what would you rather watch? Someone like, say, Ralph in full stream or me, you know? I'm not to that point yet. I won't be to that point in at very minimum a year. That's being incredibly generous, you know? So, link down below to Sushi's Twitch whenever he's streaming. There's no schedule. Like, people ask me that every once in a while. It's like, when do you plan on streaming? It's like, I don't know. Streaming is when it happens.
Yeah, I don't really have the schedule. There are tournaments every Saturday, which I should be playing in. So it's gonna be like Saturday evenings. I don't remember exactly what time NCS starts, but it should be like, I think 8 p.m. CST.
Yeah, that's 4 p.m. PST, for the record. Which is also the reason I don't do them that often, given my sleep schedule. 4 is too early. Like, I get people ask me that, and they're like, dude, 4 is too early, what are you talking about? It's like, keep in mind to go to sleep at 8 in the morning, and that basically means you need to wake up, like, after not many hours of sleep, and then first thing compete in a tournament. Like, that's the last thing I want to do when I just wake up. How much PM did you get into? Did you ever actually, like, play it at all, really?
I did. I was actually, I actually started on, Brawl, and then my friend was like, hey, you should play PM instead. It's a lot more fun. And I was like, alright, sure, I'll try it. And then I think I played for like a year and a half, and then eventually someone was like, hey, try Melee instead. And then I started playing Melee. And I kind of played both for a while, but it got kind of weird, and then I just eventually just played only Melee. But I mained Snake in PM.
Oh, I automatically hate you.
I know. I was excited for Professor Pro, you know. And Rolex.
You know, I sometimes think to myself, when it comes to Absa, I was like, hey, here's this character in PM that everybody hates. Let's add it into Rivals of Aether.
Don't put Snake in Aurora. That would be terrible, man. Like, I don't want to die to an explosive.
Yeah, please. I don't want any more down throw C4, okay? I don't want another mechanic that just gives a lower blast ceiling to one person. For real. Alright, enough PM whining.
Wait,
Ah.
Oh my.
Biggest blast radius. There's a few characters that Smash has that I would love to kind of see a semi-rivals counterpart. Like, I'm still amused that there's no like Captain Falcon version, basically.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's not what I wanted.
Oh! Please don't!
Yeah, dude, I would like love a Captain Falcon type thing, because we only have, I mean, I guess we only have technically 2 rushdown characters. It's kind of hard to consider Raster a rushdown character at this point. You just sort of, like, once you get in, but you have to play so patiently.
Yeah.
You know, so we don't really have something like that. And me being as impatient as I am, that's more of like a personal, I really want this. The other one is like...
People wanted a Captain Falcon character too. Like,
Yeah,
people
dude, Captain Falcon is the hype character.
Characters in this game to Captain Falcon, but they're like, there really just isn't.
It's like the only other one I would like to see is kind of like a PM Ike type thing.
That'd be pretty cool. I actually played a little bit of Ike and PM too.
I tried to kind of get into PM Ike, and it's like, it is deceivingly difficult. Like, Ike has a lot of tech that's actually difficult to pull off, even though it doesn't quite look like it. So what is your, like, I know you play almost every character in the game, like, what is your official, like, secondary, if there was one?
I like to say it's Zetterburn, but I think Crag is my second best. Just because of how simple he is for me. But Zetterburn was actually the second character I was learning. Simply because I wanted to try and have a 20XX style. If I were to actually rate where I think all my characters are, in terms of like how good oh no. How good I think all my characters are, it's obviously Forsburn first, then Crag, Zetterburn, then somewhere in there, like Arcane Maple and Edelus. I don't know where I would put either or any of those. And then the floating characters, Raster and Absalom.
Raster is so deceivingly difficult to play.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually kind of funny, because I was going back and looking at one of my really old videos. One of my really old videos I made back of when I thought I was okay with Raster. Basically, Raster combo videos against players that were completely terrible. And I was like, holy shit, Raster used to be so broken. And I just had completely forgotten, like, how early Tornado used to kill, how, like, free half the combos were. So I still feel like some players, like, that haven't played recently have that feeling. And it's like, God, Raster feels so much more difficult now. Darn.
Hey.
Like I told you before doing this is nothing formal. I wanted, like, you know, because we've seen so many interviews of people, it's like the most formal interview you can see, and it's like, and that's cool, like, hey, you won a tournament, congratulations, this is your time, you know? You know, that's great, that's great for that, but we don't see too many, like, informal things, like, what's going on outside of the game, what else do you play, like, what's, you know, people just goofing around, having fun. You mentioned you played Killing Floor before.
Yeah.
How much Killing Floor did you play?
I couldn't give you an exact number. I wasn't like a god or anything at it, but I played it a decent amount with friends. Oh, I did the wrong tether. Please don't. But I played it enough to understand like the basic mechanics and stuff. But I was definitely not like some kind of god. I only played like the casual difficulties and stuff. Like, I'm just a little baby.
Well, Killing Floor is a pretty... I mean, there's a lot to learn with Killing Floor, and it's a pretty difficult game.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't one of those players that... Oh, that killed me. I wasn't one of those players that absolutely was like, oh, you have to play on, like, Hell on Earth difficulty, or, you know, typically played on hard difficulty or whatnot. But I was also, like, level 6 with everything, which is max rank.
Yeah.
I don't know, I played that game a lot. That game was addicting. Like, super fun. Hey, you're only gonna catch my DI in, like, 5 times before I DI out, alright? Oh man, the piss Arcane.
This is Golden Arcane. Everyone insults my Arcane, dude.
Hey, you can't be that color without that coming. I'm almost convinced it was an inside joke that Dan did.
You know, Full Stream actually did that to me in tournament. He got like this really nice random, or at least I feel like it was random, but it was just basically like, as soon as he came out of hit stun, he would just up special, and he actually got me with it once.
Dude, I love doing that to people. Out of like, it's mainly out of jab.
Oh my! Please.
That could, you know, pro strats could mean like 5 different things to you.
Never know.
It could just mean that you're like, it's actually pro. It could mean that you're just being ProDoubleSushi, so it's actually terrible.
Thanks, man.
So I had never asked you, that was something I wanted to ask earlier, is like, where do you think you stand with like everyone else in the community right now? Not like, how cool are you, but like, in terms of skill level.
I definitely don't think I should be number 2. There's definitely plenty of players who are better than me. If I were to give myself a rating, I don't even know if I'd place myself at top 10, to be honest. But it's really hard for me to know because there's so many players I haven't played against since I've been playing again. I'd say like somewhere like in the top 20, so at least. I still feel like somewhere in the top 20, but I couldn't give you like an exact number.
So you feel like you're basically just outside of like, basically the gods.
Kind of, yeah. Just like right out there.
Do you feel like you're like coming close to like breaking past that, or?
No, I don't think so yet. I'm not turning heads or anything quite yet, and I don't have like any groundbreaking tech or skills that would put me up there right now. But if I actually like really focus on practicing and get past all these mental blocks I have, maybe I have a chance at becoming like the Forsburn god that Ralph once was.
Yeah, it's for some reason that's so easy for me to forget that Forsburn used to main Ralph. Or, well, yeah, wow, okay.
Forsburn used to main Ralph.
I mean, you could look at it that way with how it used to be.
Yeah, you really can.
That was something I didn't ask, is like if you're in college or anything at the moment.
Oh, yeah, I am.
What are you trying to major in?
I am going for finance.
Finance, the safe choice.
It's a safe choice.
I can't say anything. I have a degree in business and marketing, so it's like, do you not know what you want to do? Well, go for something business related.
Yeah, that's basically what the goal is.
It's boring, but you get paid, so.
Yeah, I've had like 5 internships at different midstream gas and oil processing companies, and I'm actually doing another one this summer. So I have lots of experience in that field, which is a really good field in Houston because it's like all over the place. And I also work in the family real estate business, so and I do handle some of the financials. We're actually doing taxes right now, and in charge of doing some of like the last minute, like, I don't know what to call it really, like bookkeeping stuff, like lots of like entries from different like external receipts and whatever.
So what you're telling me is that you're living up to your Asian heritage. The complete silence after that is just like, yep. Someone was gonna take it there. Okay, so do you have any like shout-outs you want to throw in right for the end of the video?
Uh-oh, shoutouts. I didn't come prepared.
Oh, I'm putting you on the spot here.
Shoutouts to Dan for making rivals.
The easy one. You gotta go with the easy shout-out.
Yeah, the safe shout-out. But I'd say shoutouts to the moderators on my Discord server, because they kept me going for quite a while. Bio, Gino, and Vicky. They've pretty much spent a lot of my time in Rivals with me, as well as Turquoise Color and Fullstream. They're some of my best friends from the community, and I spent a lot of time with them, so I appreciate them a lot.
Yeah, and like I said before, like shout out to just the Rivals community in general for being as good as it is, and everyone that like moderates it. Like, honestly, at times I kind of feel bad for Edalus because like he's trying to do his job, and then you got these people that come into the general Discord, and there's people doing all these other things that are like, you have to act nice to them, but with some of the things people are saying, I guess I can relate to that just way too much given my job, but you get what I'm going on with here.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be nice. No matter how much you want to say, like, what kind of a stupid question is that? But, like, you have to be nice. Now, Edalus does a really good job. Edalus is really good at community management.
He's also a really nice person. He's,
yeah.
I don't know if you've ever met him before, but in person, he seems like a really genuinely nice person. He always seems really happy and upbeat, so does what he does well.
Yeah, I've never talked to him in person. I've talked to him briefly online a few times, and like every single, that's pretty much how I would describe him every time. Is he always seems like he's in a good mood, super friendly, like it seems like he genuinely wants to talk.
You're great, Edalus. In case you see this, you're a wonderful person.
But yeah, so that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go edit this all up together. Like I said before, this is not going to be a very formal interview type thing. It kind of started as an interview and just turned into us playing friendlies forever. So I'm gonna go edit this up. Thanks for everyone watching. If anyone's even still watching at this point, if anyone else is interested in doing something like this as well, ProDoubleSushi, you're just the first person to do this. So like, I wouldn't mind turning this into sort of a series of interviewing other people as well. Maybe getting people like full stream, maybe even some of the developers in, if the Rivals community likes it. Because I'm trying to make content that not only new players will like, but like the dedicated community as well. So if you're interested in that, I'm in the Rivals Discord. I'm super easy to access. I'm generally willing to play with anyone as well. So, hey, thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you guys next time.